Hello, my name is Maya and welcome to my channel for a book recommendation video. So today's book recommendation is going to be for books with animal companions. I love seeing animals in romance books and like pets in romance books because I'm an animal lover, and so it really tugs at my heart when I see them, and not only when I see them in books but when they're actually important to the plot and when they actually have something to do in the book, instead of just being mentioned once and then forgotten about in the next scene. I love that. Or I hate saying that, so I like books where the animals are actually important to the development of the plot, or just like they're constantly there, that kind of vibe. So I have a couple of books with some veterinarians, or vets, I don't know if I said that right, so I'm just gonna say vets maybe. Some books with pet owners, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into the recommendations. So the first book / series I'm going to be recommending is the Tattered and Torn series by Cowles, specifically Tattered Stars by Cowles, because this first book is the first book in the Tattered and Torn series, and it follows Everly and Hayes and their romance. And Hayes has a German Shepherd who failed the canine academy, so he couldn't become a police dog, so Hayes took him in and he's now his dog / his family's dog. He comes to every single family event and everyone loves him. He's mentioned in all of the other books. His name's Coda and he is a German Shepherd and he's adorable. I love him. Like I said, he's mentioned in pretty much every single book. And also Everly has kind of a pet chipmunk. She moves into this house and there's a chipmunk there and she feeds that chipmunk constantly. She, like, in her hand, he comes to her, and so yeah. And also Everly is a vet. She becomes a vet at the clinic, and she also wants to start her own kind of farm, but it's not a farm, it's more of like an animal rescue place. And so I love that. I love Everly so much. She's probably one of my favorite heroines in the series because that just resonates with me so much. If I could open a like pet sanctuary, I would. I love animals. And so yeah, Coda is mentioned in all the books, and also books 4 and 5 also have pets in them. Book 4, there are 2 dogs. One dog is in a wheelchair, and that is Shattered Sea and Fractured Sky. The 5th book has a wolf hybrid and horses because it's Ramsey and Shiloh. Oh, and I just love that. Anyway, so this book / this series, Tattered Stars, is about, it opens up with Everly going to the police officers and telling them that there is this girl trapped inside of this building on her home lot. And so that's kind of a running theme throughout the entire book, or the entire series. Shiloh is mentioned a lot, but this book specifically is Everly and Hayes, who Hayes is Shiloh's brother. It follows pretty much all of the siblings in that family, and he doesn't really like Everly because of her family, but it's not Everly's fault. And so yeah, so that's pretty much what the first book is about. But this series is really good. I feel like romantic suspense, you should read this. So yeah. The next book is also another Cowles book. If you like animals and specifically dogs in romance books, you should definitely check out Cowles because a lot of the books that she writes do have animals in them, and I really love that about her books. And Whispers of You is specifically a husky. Our heroine, Wren, has a husky, and yeah, that's the dog in this one. But this book is about, I'm going to say trigger warnings for shooting. This book opens up with the heroine and her relationship with her childhood sweetheart, the hero Holt. But Holt isn't there at the house, and during that night, Wren is she's involved in a shooting. She is one of the victims that night, but she survives, and after the incident, Holt kind of runs away and he leaves the town, but she stays and she has a cabin and she gets a dog, and her dog's like really kind of protective of her and really aware of the situation. So I think it's a she, could be wrong, but she's definitely very like alert, so that's very good for her. But Holt comes back to town I think he comes to visit his family, but I could be wrong. And our heroine is now working as a 911 caller. She is the person that people speak to when they are calling 911. And so yeah, this book is really good. A little emotional, I will say, especially with current events. But yeah, so be aware of that. And she also has kind of like, she gets like chest things because she does have like a scar on her chest, and like, her chest is affected by the shooting. So yeah, that happens. And also the dog, like I said, is mentioned a lot throughout the book, and even in the final like scenes, the dog's still there. Like, the dog's not just forgotten about, so I really appreciate that. Anyway, that is that book. And the next book is Running Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is the third book in the Wild series. If you haven't read the first books, they follow Calla and Jonah, and this is Marie's book, who Marie dated Jonah for a while, and she was probably in the other books. I only read the first book, so yeah. There also is a raccoon in that one, so honorable mention, The Simple Wild, because there is a pet raccoon. His name's Bandit, and he's adorable. Anyway, this one kind of deals more with dogs, and they're definitely more present in the story. So Running Wild is about Marie, who is a veterinarian, and she works with a bunch of the dog sled racers. She goes and works or volunteers at the Iditarod race, I believe it is. And she also works for Henry, who has a dog kennel kind of thing, like a dog, I don't know. He has one of the dog companies, the dog racing company, so he needs a vet, and she's kind of his private vet. But she also has her own vet company that her parents have helped her build. And she meets Tyler through Henry because he reports a mistreated dog. And so she goes to Tyler's house and like his property to check and see that this dog, if it's been abused or not. And she's like really mad. She's like, I hate these people who mistreat dogs. And she gets there and she finds out that the dog is kind of mistreated, but he found her, and so he took her in. And she finds out that he treats the dogs very nicely. They live very luxurious sled dog lives. They are very well treated. Tyler is amazing with dogs. He loves them. And yeah. And so it's their romance. Like I said, she volunteers at the Iditarod race, and that's kind of where they meet the second time. And he likes her. She likes him, kind of. And then after the race, or during the race, I don't remember, he asks her to be his dog vet. He wants her to be his dog's vet. But she's kind of nervous because she knows Henry doesn't like him, and Henry's dogs are her main source of income, and so she doesn't want to lose that income if he finds out she's taking care of Tyler's dogs. Oh my gosh. And it's their romance. Tyler is very much kind of a reclusive. He's a damaged hero. You learn more about him throughout the books, but he loves dogs. And what he does for one of these dogs is insane, and I love it. If you've read it and you don't know, DM me and I'll tell you. But like, what he does for like the abused dog, like, oh my gosh, I love that. He's amazing. And if you love a hero who loves animals, this is it. But also, this book touches a lot on like being 30 and not having a child. And so I don't know if I like that very much, but it does deal with her kind of struggling because she's been in relationships for so long and she doesn't have a kid, and she feels like her time's running out. So I don't like that, but a little understandable. And so it deals a lot with getting older and feeling like you have run out of your years. So yeah, but I enjoyed this book. I gave it 5 stars. I liked it more than The Simple Wild. I don't know why. I just did. So yeah. The next book I'm going to recommend is The Temptation of a Highlander by Elisa Braden. I love this book so much. This book is about Clarissa, who is kind of a spinster. She's a plus-size wallflower, and she has caught the eye of this very dangerous man who really wants her, but he's very dangerous. He stalks her, and he kills animals for her, and I hate that, but she needs a protector, and so Campbell McPherson is going to be her protector. He agrees to be her bodyguard. Or I don't think he agrees. I think it's kind of like forced upon him because the other option was for her to marry this other dude, and he's like, heck no. And so he takes her to his house in the country, and there is a Irish wolfhound. I'm pretty sure it's an Irish wolfhound, and she immediately is like kind of pushing him away from her, even though he wants to be friends with her, because she doesn't want to get attached to him and be nice to him, because she's afraid that what happened to her pet cat is going to happen to him. And it's really sad, because that's sad, and that just makes me sad that she has to push the dog away so that it doesn't die, and it hurts my heart. But he is mentioned a lot more in the book. He's like, Campbell is like to the dog, oh, you're like in love with her too, and that's just, I love that. But Campbell is like this big man, like all of the McPherson brothers are, and he, like I said, protects her from this crazy dude, and he has some trauma in his life. He doesn't want to like Carissa, like even if he does like her, he doesn't want to marry her and be with her, so it's very sad. But I don't know, I love this book. It's a bodyguard romance, and I love it so much. So good, highly recommend. And we also have another historical romance. Obviously I had to mention this one, and it is The Wallflower Wager by Tessa. This book is amazing, and it's known for having animals in it. So basically, if you don't know, this book follows Penelope, and she has a plethora of animals. She has a dog, she has a goat, she has a dirty talking parrot, she has a two-legged dog, I think I said that, a hedgehog, an otter. I want an otter so bad. Anyway, so she has all of these animals, and she's a wallflower, like I said, but our hero, Gabriel, comes into town, and he buys the 2 townhouses next to her, and he wants to rent them or sell them because he thinks that having Penny living in between these houses, people are going to want to live next to her because she's pretty. But the animals are causing problems because he's like, no one's going to want to live next to all of these animals. So he wants her to get rid of them, but she will only do that if he helps her find good, loving homes for these animals. And specifically, like, the bird is given to the second book couple and the 2 kids. I love that. So yeah, it's really cute. I love this book. I need to reread it because I don't remember much about it, so that's kind of why this is very vague, but I love it. He helps the goat eat, I'm pretty sure. He rescues the dog. Like, this man, even though he wants to get rid of these animals, he is treating them nice, and I love it. I love seeing people nice to animals, and it just makes my heart happy. So that book is amazing. Highly recommend if you have not read it yet. The last historical on this list is A Daring Pursuit by Kate Bateman. I love this book once again. I love all these books I'm talking about, but this one is a enemies to lovers historical romance, like a family enemies to lovers. The families hate each other, and our heroine, Carice, I'm pretty sure it's Carice, she has a, like, I think it's a menagerie. Like, she has a, once again, plethora of exotic animals, and I love her so much. And our hero, Tristan, is an architect, and he's building a house kind of close to where she lives. I think she lives with her brother because she's a spinster and she doesn't want to get married. She's very, not frivolous, but she's very, like, open with what she wears. Like, she dresses up in this, like, really white kind of see-through gown as her costume, and so she's very just like, my body, I'm gonna wear what I want, no one's gonna judge, and if people judge me, who cares? Like, I am me. I don't need no man. But she does say that she is going to get married so that she can be a single woman and just live her life. And she's going to get married to a man who she knows is gay, and he's offered to be with her, but they will have, like, their own lovers. And Tristan hears this, and he's like, no, you need to be with someone who loves you, someone who's going to pleasure you. So he's very upset with that. And also, Tristan's, like, a pining hero, y'all. I love him. Anyway, a little sidetracked from the... Like, he's just pining after her. One of the things I saw on a post was architectural pining, and I 100% agree. Love that. But during one of these scenes, Carice gets a bear from, like, a traveling circus. Her brother buys it for her because she asked him to, and so she has a bear now, and that added, she has, like, a peacock named Jeffrey. Love him. She has a bunch of other birds that she lets free, and they come back. I don't think they have clipped wings because I think she sees it as inhumane. So I love that. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. I hope I'm remembering that right. But I love this book. It's got everything I love. Pining hero, animals, kind of a romantic suspense element. It's funny. I love it. So yeah, highly recommend this book. Now, for all of my cat lovers, I do have 2 recommendations with cats in them, so if you've been waiting for that, here they are. So the first book is Two Wrongs Makes a Right by Chloe Liese. This book is adorable. If you don't know, it is a Much Ado About Nothing retelling. I'm pretty sure I'm reading it right off of the thing, and basically it's an opposites attract romance where Jamie is kind of like, I don't know, he looks like a smart guy, he looks like a nerd, but no, he's really cute. And B, the heroine is more out there. Like, what she does for a job is erotica, like drawings, erotic drawings, and I love it. And she and our hero meet at a masquerade party, and he has like this boring mask, but she has this crab mask that she handmade, and she's like, you really didn't put a lot of effort into your mask, and so I love that. But she spills wine on him twice, and her sister and his best friend, who her sister is dating, they set them up without them knowing. They just go by initials, and then when they finally meet, they're like, they set us up, they knew we didn't like each other, so let's get them back with fake dating and like a revenge fake dating. But they eventually fall in love. Obviously, I love this book, and Jamie has 2 elderly cats. He adopts them because they were elderly cats, and I just love that. This man, he literally adopts 2 old cats because they're elderly and he loves them, and I think they have really cute names. I don't remember them at this time, but they're not really important to the plot. They're just kind of there when she comes over one day. And she also has a pet hedgehog. That's one of the things this book is known for, and so he's really cute. I love whenever there's pet hedgehogs in books because they always have the little donut pillow, and I love that. But this book features anxiety. Both of the characters have anxiety, and the heroine is autistic, so this book does have neurodiverse rep. So I love this book, and I'm excited to read more from Chloe Liese. And the final book is Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. This is a hate-to-love romance and workplace romance. I love this book so much. It has some great pining. And yeah, anyway, so this book is about Bee, who is the heroine, and she just started working at this helmet company. I think they make space helmets. I think it's NASA. So she makes helmets for NASA, and Levi also works there, and they were enemies in college. She hated him, but of course he liked her, obviously, so there's some hero pining. He falls first. Love that. And so she thinks that Levi is sabotaging her. She doesn't get his emails, and he ate her donut, her vegan donut, and so she still hates him, but eventually they love each other. And when she goes to his house, she sees that he has a cat, and I think it's only 1 cat. I could be wrong. There could be 2. I don't remember. So yeah, but there's also a cat at the workplace. She sees this cat, and it almost like makes equipment fall on her, but Levi is there, and he saves her, and she's like, yeah, this cat was walking, and so I wanted to like pet it, and he's like, what cat? So she thinks she's like crazy, but there actually is a cat at the workplace. And so yeah, there's 2 cats in this book, and I love this book. Highly recommend. I love Hazelwood. That's all I have to say. Anyway, that is it for this very long recommendation video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know some other books with animals in them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Thanks for watching.